Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, sir. And you?
I'm also good.
So where are you working, sir?
I'm working in Webson.
Oh, full-time employee. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Good, good.
And where are you working?
I work with SAS, sir. SAS.
SAS.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a product-based company
Okay.
where we sell our products to banking, telecommunication, insurance. It's mainly
Hmm.
analytics, machine learning, the BI kind of
Okay. Got it.
suite.
Got it. Got it. SAS. Okay. Data analysis, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay. Okay. I know some few of my colleagues also were in the teaching of SAS application.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. So
Yeah.
still they teach, sir?
They maybe I
Now
we
it
have
is now it is no more, sir. Actually, because of Python,
huh.
like
Okay.
very few are nobody interested in learning SAS. It's
Hmm.
because most of the companies are now moving towards Python.
Hmm.
SAS is mainly like it's a enterprise level software. It's mainly used by banks, telecommunication,
Hmm.
big industry. All small industries are now like moving to Python.
Yes, 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 yes. But in the Python, I think so. In the SAS, I think so. There is no more programming language required, right? The
There
tool
is a
is like
it's a mainly GUI based, but there is programming also. If a young scientist or if a junior and programmer, if they want to do programming, still they can do programming as well.
okay, okay, okay,
So and
okay.
also Python also integrated with the software. So it's a
Hmm. Hmm. So Python is best, right?
yeah, Python is best. It's exactly.
Okay. Shiva, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. What about you?
I'm also fine.
Sorry, you were discussing something. Python is best regarding what, sir?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So our today's agenda is to work with traffic manager. How what is traffic manager? How it works? We will understand. So traffic manager simply we can say it's a DNS based load balancer which will balance the traffic, uh, which will balance the traffic towards the servers, right? So, what makes the traffic manager different as compared to the other load balancer that we will see? So, traffic manager is a first of all, the traffic manager is a DNS based load balancer. Okay, traffic manager is a DNS based load balancer. Second thing is that traffic manager supports multiple regions also. Traffic manager supports the multiple regions also. Means if your one server is located in US, second server it is located in Mumbai, then both of the servers, the traffic manager can balance the load towards both of the servers, right? The first request will goes to the server number one, which is located in US, and second request will goes to the another server which is located in India, right? It's a global load balancer. It's not a region-based load balancer. Traffic manager supports to distribute the load equally towards all the servers which are even located in the different regions also. right? So this is a great advantage of the traffic manager, and the traffic manager is a DNS-based load balancer instead of using the IP addresses, right? If we are creating a pool of the servers, of servers, pool of the servers means target group. If we are creating the pool of the servers, in the pool of the servers, we have to add the servers, right? So we are adding not by we are adding the servers in the pool not by using the IP address. We are adding the servers in the pool by using the DNS address, right? Like the DNS address of server one. Guys, you have an idea about the DNS? Means
Yes.
you heard about the DNS? Okay. Two. If we have two servers, instead of using the IP addresses, we have to use the DNS address of the server number one, DNS address of the server number two, which we are going to include in the pool of the servers, right? So this is the beauty of the traffic manager. So okay. So traffic manager have various routing methods that we are going to discuss now. Okay. So traffic manager have various routing methods. The first method of the routing method of the traffic manager. So the first method of uh, routing method of the traffic manager is priority. Okay, priority. So let us understand the priority method. So let's say this is traffic manager, TM in short I am writing, traffic manager, and we have two servers, right? We have two servers. We have server number one, we have server number two. So both of the servers are connected with the traffic manager in a pool. And server number one, let's say it is located in India. And the server number two, it is located in Japan. Right? We kept in two different countries, two different regions. So if the request is coming through the internet from the customers, so if the customers or the users are sending the request the request through the internet, it will goes to the traffic manager. The request will goes to the traffic manager. And India server and the Japan server both are the servers. We are assuming these both of the servers are the web servers, and here the website is also running, and here in the Japan server the website is also running. Okay, so both of the servers are the web servers. So if the request is coming from the customers, the request through the internet, it will goes to the traffic manager. So priority method is saying that if the request will become, if both of the servers are alive, there is no down, then always the request will, if we have set the priority, priority for the server number one, the first priority as a server number one. First priority for the server number one and second priority for the server number two. then always the request is coming, it will always goes to the server number 1. Second request also will goes to the server number 1. That there is no not at all any request will goes to the Japan server, right? So all of the incoming request will always always sent by the traffic manager only inside the only towards the India server, only towards the India server, India server, India server, India server, India server. It's just like a failover kind of situation. It's just like a failover situation. Failover situation means one is active, one is passive. You can think like that. The server number 1, India server, will be active server, and the Japan server will be a passive server. Okay, so if the server number 1 will be down, then only the request will move. Then only the request will be transferred, forwarded by the traffic manager towards the server number 2, towards the server number 2, towards the server number 2 only. If the server number 1 have to fail, India server number have to fail if the traffic want to go in towards the Japan server. Otherwise, all of the traffic which is coming from the outside, from through the internet, it will always go towards the India server, India server, India server, right? So it's a kind of failover kind of situation. If the India server will get fail, then only the request will goes to the server number 2. If the India server is alive, then the request will always forever it will goes to the India server only. So this is the method. This is the meaning of the priority method of the traffic manager.
Sir, here, no need to change the priority, sir. Once it's India server is failed, automatically it will divert to this side, sir.
Correct. But
Okay.
priority, yes, no need to change the priority. But initially during the configuration, we have to set the priority. Means first, the first priority. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we will. There is second routing method is also available. So the second routing method is the weighted routing method. Right. So I will clean this. I will clean this much. Okay. Second method is weighted method. So as per the weighted routing method, we can assign the ratio of distributing the traffic. We can assign the ratio of distributing the traffic which is incoming from the customer side through the internet. Right. Suppose for the India server we have decided the ratio in the traffic manager that the traffic 50% traffic should go towards let's say 40% traffic should go towards the server number 1, and the 60% traffic will go towards the server number 2, right? So if any incoming traffic will go is coming inside the company, and it is coming through the internet, it will goes to the first, it will hit the traffic manager. Then the traffic manager, as per the rule, weighted routing method policy, weighted routing method, the 40% of the traffic it will distribute towards the India server, and rest of the 60% traffic it will distribute towards the Japan server always. So maximum it is going to the Japan server because the ratio is here 60 and the ratio is here 40.
So if there are 10 requests, 4 will be sent to India server and the remaining 6 will be sent to Japan server. Is that like that?
Correct. If the 10 requests are there, then the 4 requests will goes to the India server, and the 6 requests will goes to the Japan server. So that will be the ratio, right? Okay. So if we can have the third server, let's say, if this is the third server, right? If we are changing the ratio, we're changing the ratio. Let's say now this time I'm changing the ratio, and this is this server is Africa server, and this Africa's and now the ratio I have done 60%, okay, 20%, 60%, and 10%, right, and 30% here. Okay, 60% we given the ratio for the India server, and 10% we have given the ratio for the Africa server, and the 30% I have given the ratio for the Japan server. So if any incoming traffic is coming from the customer, it will first hit the traffic manager. Sorry, it will first hit, will goes to the traffic manager. Then the traffic manager, on the basis of the weighted routing method, will throw the traffic towards the servers according to the ratio, percentage ratio. So 60% traffic will goes to the India server, 10% traffic will goes to the Africa server, and remaining 30% traffic will goes to the Japan server always. So we can mention the ratio system, right? How much traffic should be goes on which server? Clear, guys? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Now we have another method. Okay, so now we have another method of routing by the traffic manager, that is performance, right? Performance method. So performance method, according to the performance method, one second. Okay, so performance method is the most popular method. So if one server is located in India, second server is located in Africa, Japan server is located in Japan, right? So it depends on the client geographical location, right? It depends on the customer or the client geographical location. If the customer is located in Japan or nearby country of the Japan, right? This is the client computer. If the client computer is getting the higher performance, the client computer will get the high performance from the Japan server because the client is located in Japan. Right? Then the request will always go to the request will be always distributed towards the request for this client will always come from the Japan server, right? The request for this client will be always handled by the Japan server because who is the nearest one? The nearest one will be the Japan server, right? And definitely the nearest server will give the fast response as compared to the far server. Africa server is far from the client who is located in Japan, and the India server is very far also, who is located for the client who is located in Japan. So which one is the very nearest one? This server is the very nearest one. This server, Japan server, is a very nearest one server towards a client who is trying to access the website from the who is trying to access the website index.html. So the performance wise, this server can give the highest performance. So that's why the request of the Japan client will be always entertained by the Japan server only, right? In case the Japan server will goes down due to some any reason, right? Then the traffic manager will check what is the next nearest one. What is the next nearest one server which is nearest to the Japan, which is closest to the Japan. Then the second nearest one will provide the service towards the client of Japan. Getting my point, guys? Hello?
Yeah, it's clear, sir, clear.
Yes. So another method is, one second. Another method is geographical method. Hmm. Geographical method, geographic. Geographic method of routing. So according to the geographic method of the routing, it depends on the source location of the client. It depends on the source location of the client. So let's say the source location of the client is Japan. The source location of the client is Japan. So geographical method of routing will say that the client will receive the request. The client will enter. Client will get the response from only that response. The client is sending the request and the request will goes to the traffic manager, and only that server, only the client will is sending the request to the traffic manager, and the traffic manager will connect the request of the client with that server in which the client is currently existing, right? In which the client is currently existing, geographical region of the client source location. So client is located if it is in Japan, and the server is, and according to the geographical geolocation, according to the geolocation. So Japan, there is one server in the Japan, right? So that server, the traffic manager will distribute the request, connect the request of the client towards the server, which comes under the comes under the geolocation where the client is existed, where the client is existing. If the client is also in Japan, server is also in Japan, so the traffic manager will not distribute, will not give the connect, give the distribute the request of the client towards the other server. The client will distribute the request which is incoming from the client only towards the geolocation server, which is nearest to the client of Japan. If the client is also in Japan, server is also in Japan, then the traffic manager will made a connection of the request of the client, Japan client towards the Japan server only. Clear, guys? Hello?
No, sir. Actually, previous one you told that is also same, right, sir? For performance and this geography.
Okay, performance, I will tell you. Think about that. Sometime it happened. The server is also located in Japan, right? One server is located in Japan, another server is located in Korea, suppose. One server is located in Korea. This is Korea server. Okay. So if the client is sending the request, that request is going to the traffic manager, but the Japan server, due to some any reason, maybe due to the network issue, due to the hardware problem, is not able to, it's near, but it's not able to give the best performance. It is not able to give the quick response. The latency is more. But the Korea server is able to give the fast performance as compared to the Japan. So performance wise, the Korea is giving the fast response. Performance wise, the latency is low. If the request is going to, if the response is coming from going towards the Korea, then client's request instead of the Japan server will goes to the Korea server. But in this case, whether the Japan server is slow, whether the Japan server is fast, according to the geolocation, the request will always goes to the Japan server. Getting my point?
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got
All,
it.
yes, yes.
Thanks.
Maybe it is possible. It's not like that. If in my neighborhood there is one server, it will always give the best performance. No, If maybe the other server in the other neighborhood, maybe it is giving the better performance than my neighborhood server. So performance wise, that server is better. That server is giving the best response and fast performance. So my request will be connected with other server then, which is giving the best performance. But here at any, whether the Japan server is giving the fast response, maybe it is a slow response, always my request will get connected with the Japan server because the method is geographical method routing. Okay, clear?
Okay, cleared.
Yes, yes. Okay, so next method we have multi-value routing method. Multi-value routing method. So according to the multi-value routing method, okay, according to the multi-value routing method, so the request will goes to the multiple servers, right? The request will goes to the multiple healthy servers. Okay, so the request will go on this server, the request will go on this server, the request will go on this server, the request will go on this servers, right? So the traffic manager will give the will distribute the request towards all the multiple servers. So traffic manager will distribute the request towards this server also, towards this server also, towards this server also, towards this server also, if all of them healthy. Then though then traffic manager through the traffic manager, the response will come from only that server which is very quick, but which is very quick. Maybe the request at the same time is distributed by the traffic manager towards this server also, towards this server also, towards this server also, towards this server also, towards all the servers, right? But only on the healthy servers, which is not out of the cluster, towards all the. So it depends on the server, which one server will give the quick response at the moment. If this server given the quick response at the moment, the request will be responded by this server only. The main focus is here multi-value. The request will not goes on the one server. The request will go distributed towards all the server, all the healthy servers. And which server is prompt will give the response towards the client and the connection will be established. Okay, but in the previous method the request was only going towards the one server only, but here the difference is that the traffic manager at a time is distributing the request towards all the healthy servers, and which one server is promptly giving the reply, the customer's connection will get connected with that server only. That's why the name is multi-value. Clear, guys? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Another routing method is subnet routing method. Subnet routing method. So as per the subnet routing method, we have to define the source subnet in the traffic manager. We have to define the source subnet in the traffic manager for distributing the for giving the response from the server towards the client, right? So think about that. we define the source subnet for the client. Source subnet, I am talking about the client source, client network. So I am defining here 10.0.0.0/16. If the request is coming from this network IP addresses towards the traffic manager, then only the traffic manager will connect any one of the servers and the clients will get the response. If the source network range does not belong to this one, then the traffic manager will not give any response towards the customers. Maybe if the 20, I added as a 10 network. But if the customer is sitting far and the customer's computer is containing IP address 20.0.0.1, so 20.0.0.1 does not comes under the network 10.0.0.0 condition. Then if the request will come to the traffic manager, then the traffic manager will drop out the request. Because as a condition, it is mentioned the source network IP address must be matches with this 10.0.0.0. Otherwise, if the client is sending the request from any other network location, the request will not be entertained and the packets will be drop out. Clear? Hello?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Good. So these are the routing methods. So now we will do it. We will see in the portal live how the traffic manager works. So let's go to the portal. Portal.azure.com. So first of all, we will create two servers. Two servers means two virtual machines. So let's click on the virtual machine. So create a resource group. If you have not created, virtual machine name is server 1 and the region I am selecting here, Central US. Central US and the availability zone. So availability zone, I am selecting availability zone 1 in the Central US and image is 2012 R2. Okay, then username is Azure. Password @123. Password @123. And here we are configuring this server as a web server, so that's why we have to enable the rule of HTTP. So click on next. Next again. So networking, we are inside the networking. Click on next and disable the boot diagnostic. Disable the auto shutdown. Click on next. Next, review and create. Now finally click on create. So let's create another server. Click on create virtual machine. So select the resource group test, and server is server 2, server name is server 2. So this I'm giving here East US, and availability zone. So availability zone I'm selecting availability zone 2. That's fine. Okay, so here size is okay. The username is Azure. Password @123. Password @123. Now I have to add the HTTP protocol because we are creating this server as a web server. So disable the boot diagnostic, disable auto shutdown, click on next, next, review plus create. And click on create. Till that time, we will create traffic manager also in the another window, another tab. So we need to just have traffic manager profiles and open the traffic manager, click on create. So the name of the traffic manager I will assign test. Addition domain test traffic manager already exists. Okay, test May, test June 2021. This is available. So performance wise, so I'm selecting performance wise because this is the best one. Performance wise, subscription is a, and test is a resource group, and click on create. So traffic manager has been created successfully. So let's see now what is the status of virtual machines that we are going to create. So one virtual machine is already ready. Server number 1, let's take the remote access, and we have to install the web service role. Azure, password @123. Password @123. Click on yes. So now we have successfully taken the remote connection of the server number 1. Now we have to install the web service role IIS. Click on next. Wizard has been started. Scroll down. So select your role web server. Click on next, 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 next. Install. Now click on close. Now, after the installation of this role, you can find C drive. INetPub is a folder. Double click on INetPub folder. So inside the INetPub folder, www root folder will get automatically created. So this is a sample website. We will work on the sample website for the testing purpose. So I will open this sample website by using the notepad, and I will do some modification for the testing purpose. So I will give a message inside this this website. This is web server 1. This is web server 1. So I will click on file. I'll click on save. So this file has been saved. Okay. So if individually we want to access this web server is working fine or not, we can test it by like this way. Yes, individually it is working, right? Right now we are not we have not associated this web server with the traffic manager. We'll do it later. So, but our purpose right now is to test the website. It is working fine or not? Yes, it's working fine. So now we have to take the remote access of the second server also, because we will test the second web server also. We have to configure and test. Yes, let's refresh it. Second server is also ready. Just copy the public IP address. Username is Azure. Password. Click on yes. Shivaya, getting the things?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So through the wizard, we will install the IAS web server role inside the server number second also. So installation started. So let's go to the C drive. inetpub already created. www root, right click on IIS start, click on open with, click on notepad. And here we will do some modification and we'll display the message on the website. This is web server 2. This is web server 2. Click on file, click on save. So it is done. So now let's do the testing for this server also, web server 2. Is it giving the response? Yes. So we are getting the response from the web server 2. So both of the servers are now ready to use. So now let's add this both of the server as an endpoint inside the traffic manager profile. So this is the traffic manager profile. So let's refresh it. So traffic manager profile has been created with the name test June 2021. So click over the test June 2021 and we have to create the endpoints. So endpoints means the server pools. So click on add and Azure endpoint. Here the name I will give here endpoint 1, just a name, and cloud service, right? So here target resource type. Okay, target resource. Okay. So target resource type I'm using here public IP address. So public IP address, that's what I'm choosing here, server 1, right? So what it is showing, no DNS name is assigned, no DNS name is configured. What does it mean? Just I wanted to show you that if you have not assigned the DNS server, DNS IP address is not configured in the virtual machine, then it will not add the servers as an endpoint, right? So because we have not given the DNS address, so it is a DNS based load balancer, right? So see, it is giving the error. We cannot choose anything. No DNS name is configured. What does it mean? Let's see. Let's correct it. So this is server number 1, 2, and inside the server number 2, you can see DNS name is not configured here, right? So let's configure it. So click here. Public IP address is here. Here, tag. No, not here. Okay, let's go to the virtual machines again. So server number 1, and here you must have the option of the resource group. Yes. Let's configure the DNS name label. So you can see central US cloud app.azure.com is there at the end. So let's give it here server 1. Server 1, it's not available. So server 1, otherwise give it endpoint 1. Yes, this is available. Endpoint 1, we are giving this name. So click on save. Okay, it's saved. Now similarly go to the server number 2 and DNS name not configured, so click over not configured, and here I will type endpoint 2, right? You can type any other name also, but I'm using this one. So click on save. So DNS name has been configured in both of them. So now we will move towards the add endpoint. So I will disconnect it again. What happened? Yes. So I will click on add endpoint. So here the name is, I'm giving here endpoint 1. It's available. So I will choose here public IP address. And here I will choose server 1. Yes, now it is not giving any problem because we configured the DNS name, and click on add. So endpoint 1 has been added successfully. Now the server 2 we will add as an endpoint 2. And
Sir, here what is the target ratio, sir? Well, there are 4, na, sir, actually.
yes, let me, this one, right? So you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
see,
Oh.
yeah, these are the servers. Okay, now the
Okay.
server 2 is the target. Click on add.
Okay. So can select others also, I think, instead of this
Yes.
public IP, others are app service, cloud service also.
Yes, app service also. If you have configured the application in the app server, you can do it.
Okay, okay.
So you can see status is enabled, and it is showing the monitoring status as checking point. So we have to refresh until it will complete. So let's wait. It's still showing checking. So we have to wait for some moments. And let's click over the overview. So now this time, you can see endpoint 1, endpoint 2 is showing here status is enabled, and monitor status it is showing checking endpoint, right? So it will change the status later. So now later we will not access the web servers by using the public IP address. We will access the server by using the DNS name of the traffic manager. So this is the DNS name of the traffic manager. So this DNS name will distribute the traffic towards both of the endpoints. So we have chosen the performance wise. So let it be complete first.
Actually, you DNS you configured, no? That I didn't understand actually. Sir. Why need to not this one? They're not configured. What was there? Na? They're given
okay,
an
not
endpoint.
configured. The name of the server.
This one.
Yeah, the name of the server. The name, just a label, just a label, just a label only. And this end part automatically assigned by the this end part eastus.cloudapp.azure.com. It is already assigned by the Azure itself, right? This is not a custom DNS, custom like the IBM.com, Cisco.com, HCL.com. This is not a custom DNS. This DNS name automatically randomly assigned by the Microsoft Azure only. This is not a custom DNS. Just we are giving the prefix here to make the completion.
If it is there, our custom domain, you can give, right, sir? Otherwise,
you can give it, but in the DNS there is a DNS option is there. Custom DNS zone, DNS zone option is there.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now this server both are in same region or different?
Yeah.
Sir, actually.
Okay. One more I will one more thing I will show you. Right. You can, instead of the IP address, now you can access this website. Now you can access this website by using this link also. Right.
Oh, okay, okay.
I will show you. This is an alternate.
Okay.
So by using this DNS name also you can access instead of using the IP address. See, you are able to access. Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir. So this is DNS. Okay.
Yes. So now we'll go to the traffic manager. Where is this is traffic manager. So this time we will copy the DNS name of the traffic manager, which is the different DNS name. So I will paste it. So by using this DNS name of the traffic manager, we'll distribute the traffic towards the server. Perfect. Now the traffic is going towards the server number 2, because the performance wise, the traffic manager found the server number 1 giving the highest performance. So that's why performance wise, the traffic is always going to the server number 2. In case in future, maybe the performance of the server 2 will be reduced, then automatically it will start connecting our request towards the server number 1 also. So this is how the traffic manager works. Clear?
Yeah, okay, sir. Yeah, clear, sir. Is there any live example for this traffic manager, sir?
Live example?
Yeah, where it will be used, traffic manager.
Traffic manager, load balancing. That means it's a DNS based load balancing, and where you have the normal load balancer, it is working in the regional in the one region only, right? Both of the servers will be in the one region. But in the traffic manager, but the traffic manager is the DNS based load balancer, and it is using in the multiple regions. Maybe think about that. One of the region is completely down. Mumbai region is completely down. Then still you will be able to access the website from the other region. From the China region you can access it, right? But in the case of the load balancer, both of the servers were inside the same region. Got it?
Yeah, got it, sir. You know that any some cross region it will come in. That will be concept in this, sir. That is different, sir.
Cost?
Cross regions.
Cross region. Yeah, this is cross region.
Oh, this is cross region only.
This is a cross region. This is a cross region load balancer. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
this is a cross region. You are telling correct. This is a cross region load balancer. Right. That's why I'm using the word multiple regions.
Oh, okay. That is multiple region and cross region. Okay, that is the word.
Yeah, cross region is the same word for the multiple regions. Right.
And you can nested region, it will come another thing. What is that? Is also same or what, sir?
Nested region means nested server. You can see nested region, one region under the another region. That is a nested.
Okay. So for traffic manager can we use for that nested also, right?
Yeah, traffic manager can configure as a nested also, one region, and then the complexity will be increased, right? So better to avoid the more complexity, make it the thing simple, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I got it, sir. The multiple instead of multiple, that cross region means okay, both are same.
Yes, it's both are same.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now our next topic we will do DNS, Azure DNS. Okay, that is also very interesting topic. Very interesting topic. Okay, so let's take 5 minutes only break. Okay, after the 5 minutes break, we will do the next topic, that is Azure DNS. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sure. Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Let us start. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So our next topic is Azure DNS. Okay. So first I will tell you what is DNS works, what is DNS and how DNS works. So DNS stands for Domain Naming System. So DNS is a protocol, works for the name resolution. DNS is a name resolution protocol which resolves the name into IP and IP into name, right? So let's say in our computer world, the computers, they identify each other, they communicate with each other by using the IP to IP addressing system, right? So this computer must have an IP. Okay, every computer must have an IP address. Without the IP address, they will not be able to communicate with each other. But as human being, we understand and we communicate with each other by using the name to name, but not with the IP to IP, but not with the number to number. If we are talking to each other, we are connected through the Zoom meeting link, and we are we are in the batch. We are doing the discussion of many topics. So we are identifying each other by using the name. So Shivaya is a name, Yoginder is a name, Rajashekar is a name. So these are the names. So we are recognizing each other, identifying each other by using the naming system. We are not using the any number or the code for identifying each other. The reason is that it's a human brain limitation. The human brain will understand and memorize more names comparatively numbers. Okay. So if this computer will communicate with this computer, it will communicate by using the name to name, by using the IP to IP. If this computer will communicate with this computer, the communication will be happen by using the IP to IP, not with the name to name, right? But let's say if this is a server, this server is a Google server, www.google.com. This is a Google server, and through the internet we are accessing. This is the internet, and this is our local computer. And through this from this local computer, if I am trying to connect with this Google server, so in this computer web browser window, maybe the web browser is Chrome I am using. So maybe the web browser I'm using a Chrome. So in this Google Chrome web browser, what I am typing the website name. I'm typing the name, which is www.google.com. So I am typing the name, but behind the name, there is some IP address of the Google is associated, like 172.0.0.4. There is some IP associated with the IP of the google.com is associated. So I am typing the name, and automatically the conversion or the transformation is happening on the IP address, and the request will go to the IP address instead of the name. Who is converting this name into the IP? Who is resolving the name into IP? The service we are calling as DNS service. Okay, the service we are calling as DNS service. We are typing the name, but it is resolving into the IP, and the request will go to the IP address of the server instead of the name. On the basis of the IP, request will goes to the from my client computer. The request will go on the basis of the IP address, not on the basis of the name. The name is for our purpose only, because we can identify with the name only. So this name resolution is performed by the DNS service. So DNS is this is the reason that the DNS becomes very, very important in our day-to-day life. If anybody is using the internet connection, he's using the DNS. He or she using the DNS, because in the internet, if the non-IT person is also accessing any website, he's using the DNS. Means he is typing the website address, like the Flipkart.com, Alibaba.com. These are the names, not the IP addresses. So everybody who is connected with the internet, who is using the internet, general internet, then they are using the DNS service in the background. So DNS, so till now what we have done, whatever the web pages, websites we have created, we hosted in the web servers, we were accessing by using the IP address, like 10.0.0.4, 20.0.0.4, 170.0.0.4. So we were till now, whatever the session in our previous sessions, we created the web servers. We were accessing the website hosted on the web server by using the IP addressing system, not with the names, not like the www.hcl.com, ibm.com, alibaba.com, flipkart.com. These are the names, and these names we are calling as domain names. These names are called as domain names, like HCL.com, IBM.com, Acer.com, right? Chartmasala.com. These are the name. These are the domain names. So the business of the company is represented in the IT world with the domain name, and the domain name is associated with one of the website. This is a website. When you will serve this website, through the domain name, the request will come to the domain name, and this domain name is associated with the website. Then the request will be forwarded on the web page, and the web page will give the response. Okay, the web page will be as a response of the web server. This web page will be appear on the computer screen of the client computer. Okay, so where we can buy this domain, where we can get this domain? So the answer is that these domain names are not free of cost. These domain names are payable, and every unique name which you will register it will be completely unique, right? So there are many ways, there are many websites which are selling the domain names, from where we can buy the domain names on the we have to on the cost basis, on the expense basis. So I will tell you one famous domain name. The famous domain name is GoDaddy.com. So let's say my business name is, I'm doing a restaurant business, and in my restaurant business I am selling the pizzas, I am selling the burgers, I am selling the chapatis, I am selling a lot of items I am selling. But if there is for my business is not popular. Only the limited category of the people, limited number of people aware about my business, that I am existing in the market. I am selling the pizza, I am selling the burger. My business is not popular because the reach of my business, the popularity of the business is within the small area, within my small town only. No, outside town, outside city people, they don't know about my shop. They don't know about my business. So if I want to make my business popular, like the McDonald, like the KFC, very, very popular. So there must be a proper website. There I will list all the items of my restaurant that I am selling, like the capsicum pizza, mutton pizza, chicken pizza, lot of the items, burger, chicken burger pizza, whatever the items are there. So first of all, I record the website, and the website must have the domain name. So from where we will buy the domain name? So let's say I'm assuming my website name is spicemasala.com. So let's say the spicemasala.com is available in the godaddy.com. Click on the search. So you can see spicemasala.com is available, but this is the charge. It's the 14,428.57 US dollar I have to pay, and plus extra charges 26.99. Maybe this is a GST. And this website will be available or registered for the 1 year only. Spicemasala.com. So this is very, very expensive, right? And here the GoDaddy will give you the alternate links and the solution near to the Spice Masala. So spicemasala.in is also available. So in stands for India, and $12 is the charges. Spicemasala.la, spicemasala.shop, spicemasala.co.nz, spice-masala.com, spicemasala.tech, spicesmasala.com. So various links are available, various suggestions are available which the GoDaddy will give you regarding your requested name. So let's say I have chosen spicemasala.in for my Indian website. So I will click on the basket. Then it will show you the payment card. So if I will register this domain name for the 1 year, then before the expiry of the 1 year, I have to renew this domain name, otherwise it will be expire. Right? Just like a driving license, every driving license we have to renew time to time, otherwise the driving license will get expire. So like the same way, spicemasala.in, I have to renew every year. Every year before the expiry of the 1 year, if I'm taking 1 year, I can take for the 5 years also. The prices will change here according to the 5 years, $82.18. So from here we can buy this domain name. We can register this domain for the particular time period, for the particular number of years, right? If I am agree with this one, then I click on continue shopping, but this is a paid thing, right? So I got a solution also. There is one website which is giving you the free trial for the 3 months, from where we can register the domain name for the 3 months. If we are happy for the 3 months, we can convert the free trial subscription into the licensed version. We have to pay the full money. So that website is nice, very nice. That is freenom.com. freenom.com, where we can take the subscriptions for the testing purpose for some of the domains. That is enough for the testing. So click on check availability. If I am typing here spicemasala.com, click on check availability. It will show you various suggestions. spicemasala.tk, it's not available because it is taken by me. spicemasala.ml is available. It's free of cost, $0. .ga, .gq, $0. .com, spicemasala.com, here it is available with the $8.38. spicemasala.net is available $6.71. So these are the surrounding suggestions. So I have already created the spicemasala.tk. So I will get login inside this freenom.com. So I will log in with my Google account. So now I'm inside the website. I think so. It's a Chinese website. So now I will go. So now I'm inside. So now what I have to do, I want to map this website. Okay, I will show you where is my website. I will go to the services. I will go to my domains. So my domain is available that I have purchased free of cost, spicemasala.tk. So this domain name I will bind over the IP address. So the status is active. The date of registration is 20 June 2021, and it will expire on the 29th 2021. Okay, and the type is free. So now let's go to the okay, one more thing is that very, very important. There is some, guys, things are getting clear. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's say this is my web server, and in this web server I have hosted a website, and the website name is index.html. index.html. And this website public IP address is this one. So if this is my client computer, it can be maybe it my laptop I'm using, and internet is already running in this laptop. So in this laptop, I want to access this website. Till now what we were doing in the Chrome browser or any XYZ browser, we were typing 64 .0.0.1. We were typing like this way, right? So we were typing the IP address, and we were getting connected with this index.html, and the website will be open. The website was opening by using the IP address. But now with the DNS, with the help of the DNS, whatever the domain name I have registered, like the spice masala .tk, this domain name I will bind with this domain name I will bind with this IP address. So binding the domain name with the IP address, public IP address of the server, web server. For this purpose, we have to create one record. That record we are calling as host A record. Host A record of the DNS. How to create the host A record of the DNS, I will tell you. So by creating the host A record, the host A record will do the binding of the domain name that we have registered with the IP address. Then after the binding, we will be able to access the same website by using the name also. It doesn't like that we will be able to access the web page by using the name also after the binding. No, we can access by using the name also. We can access still by using the IP address. Both the options are open for us, right? Okay. So this is one thing. Another thing is that, clear guys, this thing? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing is that my domain name is, my web server is hosted in Azure. Azure hosting. My web server is hosted, my website is hosted inside the Azure platform, my website, because the web server is located in Azure. So that's why the index.html website is working inside the Azure. Azure is the different cloud. But my domain name is not available inside the Azure. Domain name is somewhere purchased inside the another website. And the another website is freenom.com. In the freenom.com, my domain name is exist, not in the Azure. So my domain name is spicemasala.com. So if any request is coming, from outside through the internet, the request is coming through the internet, and the person is typing www.spicemasala.com, and the request is coming inside the freenom.com, and it is hitting the domain name free spicemasala.com. But the spicemasala.com is just a domain name. But along with this domain name, the website is not located, is not associated. So how the system will come to know if the request is coming towards the domain name spicemasala.com, and for sending for accessing the website index.html, we have to send it to the Azure server for pulling the website. For that purpose, the solution is that NS records. NS stands for name server records. There are 4 name server records. Record number 1, record number 2, record number 3, record number 3, that I will show you. So these 4 records, which are available inside the Microsoft Azure, these 4 records we need to copy and paste inside these 4 records of the Azure DNS, we need to copy and paste inside the domain name spicemasala.com. So what will happen? If any request is coming to access this domain name, automatically on the basis of the origin of this NS records, the spicemasala.com, the feed will forward it to the website origin, which is inside the Azure, and the website will be open on the, and the website will be open in the web browser screen of the client. Clear, guys? Hello?
Yeah, yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So this thing we are going to perform simple. So domain name is already ready for us. Okay. So let's go to the virtual machine. We have both of the virtual machine. So let's try with one of the example of any one of the server number 1. And let's open. And here let's type, there's the DNS zone is there. DNS zones. So DNS zones option is there. So we need to click on DNS zones. Click on create zones. So here, a resource group, we'll select the resource group test, and the name I will assign here the, okay, I'm assigning here Spice Masala. Okay, Spice Masala dot tk. So you need to type the name of the registered domain. So Spice Masala dot tk, I will type it here. Next, review plus create. Click on create. So deployment is in progress. Click on go to resource. Now you can see here the NS records has been created. 4 NS records has been created in the DNS zone, right? So these 4 NS records we will copy in the notepad. So at the end of the NS record, there's dot, remove the dot. Okay, so these 4 DNS records we need, NS records we need to copy inside the freenom, freenom.com. So where is my website? spicemasala.tk. So click on manage domain. And here there's an option called as management tool. So click over the management tool and click on name servers. So there are some existing name servers are there. Remove the existing name servers and replace with the name servers that we have copied from the Azure, because our website is running inside the Azure. So I will copy the name server 1. And I will paste it. Copy the name server 2 and paste it. Copy the name server 3 and paste it. Copy the name server 4 and paste it. So all of the 4 name servers we copied, and click on change name servers. Done. So we copied and pasted the name servers of the Azure inside the freenom.com, spicemasala.tk. Now this part is done inside the freenom.com. That is done. Now we have to perform the further task inside the zone, DNS zone. So we have to create one record, as I said, for binding the spicemasala.com with the public IP address. We have to create the A record. So how to create the A record? There's an option called as record set. So click over the record set. So what is the name of the website? spicemasala.tk. Okay, inside the name, I have no need to, I have not I will not write anything. I will not type anything because I want the website with the exactly same name. A is already selected, and TTL value I can change it for 1 minute. IP address. So here I require the public IP address of the server, web server. So what is the public IP address? I will copy the public IP address of the web server from the server number 1. So now I will paste it here. Now click on OK. Done. It's added. You can see under the list, a record is also added, and the TTL value is the 60, and that's it. So now let's try to access with the name joginder.tk. No, spice masala. Masala.tk. Perfect. We are accessing our website by using the name. So we have successfully configured the Azure DNS. Right, guys, you also try with the same name, spicemasala.tk.
Sure. Yes, sir, it's responding.
Are you able to access? Yes, good.
Yeah, we are able to access. Yeah.
Okay. So, clear, guys? Everything cleared?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay,
So this is clear, sir.
Okay.
Previously, you told us that traffic manager is a global region, and another one is like load balancer is a regional like that. But public load balancer is global regional, right, sir?
Public load balancer.
No. The in load balancer 2 types is there.
Internal, yes, internal and public load balancers are there. Public load balancer is receive the traffic from the internet, but the internal load balancer does not have the public IP address. This is the difference. Internal load balancer doesn't have the public IP address. Internal load balancer will receive the traffic from the any other server, but that server will also be inside the same Azure cloud. This is the only difference. Got it?
Okay, but you mean to say that Azure load balancer is not a global region like traffic manager?
No. Azure load balancer means to public load balancer. If we'll say, so it will receive the traffic. The load balancer will be within the region, but the customer can be anywhere. Customer can be in the USA. Customer can be in the China, right? But the load balancer is in the region. But the traffic can be come from anywhere.
That means it's not regional like that. I mean, global.
No. It's a regional load balancer. Regional load balancer means traffic load balancer. See, in the case of the traffic manager, one server we created inside the USA, right? Another USA is a different region. Another server we have created in China. China is a different country. But in the case of the load balancer, the first server must be also in the USA, second server must be also in the USA, third server also must be in the USA, fourth server also must be in the USA. Not in the China, not in the France, not in the Japan.
Oh, even it's public also.
Yes, when it is public.
Okay, I got it. Okay. Then it's supposed to be in same region, not like different.
Yes. But here in the traffic manager, if one is in China, second maybe in the USA. Okay, clear?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So that's it for today, guys. Okay, bye-bye. See you in the next lecture.